Greetings, Internet friends. Welcome to another episode of the SynergyCafe online show, featuring speaker, entertainer, close-up illusionist, and marketing alchemist, Magic Brad. It's the Internet lifestyle show about career, finance, relationships, spirituality, and wellness. We're moving the online chatter over to real-life activity. And now, please welcome your host of SynergyCafe, Magic Brad.
Hey Internet friends, Magic Brad, SynergyCafe and the Synergy Collaborative, and I've got another guest on the line, and her name is Nancy. And are you there, Nancy?
Hi.
Yay!
Nice to see you.
She's here. Nancy is an author and speaker. She's got her own ministry, and we're going to find out more about who she is, what she does, where she does it, and that'll be the first question. Who are you, Nancy? Are you married? Do you have children? Who's Nancy?
Nancy is the mother of two grown boys. They're 28 and 25 years old. I am how shall I say? I think I want to start with my story, Brad, and
that would be perfect.
And that is that nearly 6 years ago, my major depression went to the worst possible place, and I attempted suicide. After that, I learned that there are such things as core beliefs, which I didn't know. I thought I had my beliefs. I thought I knew who I was and where I fit in the world. But through therapy, it was discovered that I had core beliefs that were running my life I didn't even know I had. And one of the chief of those was I don't matter. So as I went through life making decisions, I was making decisions based on I don't matter. And one of the first things that I learned in therapy was that it's important to have my needs met, and that not only am I allowed to have them met, but it's my responsibility to get them met. And that was news to me because I thought my life was all about, service. I'm supposed to be this for other people and that for other people, and it hadn't crossed my mind, honestly, that it was okay to take care of me. So there was a lot of hope in that. And that is the message that I try to get out, or one of many messages that I try to get out to women and people in general, that it's okay to take care of you, especially women in abusive situations who have learned to believe that they are nothing. It's important to me to get out that information.
Got it. So, I'm about that too, because if I didn't exist, then you wouldn't either, You would in your life, but not in mine. So yeah, you got to take care of numero uno. So where are you located?
I'm in Cleveland, Ohio, actually.
Oh, hi. Oh, okay.
This is the best place. I'm sorry to everyone who lives somewhere else.
Okay. So then that was the next question, is where do you do your work? Do you do your work at your own home, in your own office? Do you have an office? Do you do like online
We're
kind of thing?
We're actually in my office right now.
Okay. So is that where you do your work?
This is it. You can see behind me all my art supplies, and I have an art desk over there where I play and get out some stress sometimes.
Okay, so you're an artist also.
This is home base.
Got it. So then, when do you do your work? Are you like an AM person or a PM person? When is your peak creativity and capabilities?
I have to say probably mid-afternoon, early evening.
Oh, really?
Is when I'm fully present. Yeah.
So are you one of those that walk around in the morning with your cup of coffee with your eyes all squinty and you don't get up for like 2 hours?
Well, what I tend to do in the morning is I get up and forget to eat. So by mid-morning, I'm drained. And I'm going, I wonder why.
That's your not taking care of yourself stuff. You got to get up and break your fast. Absolutely.
I know. So by the time I've eaten and gotten myself together, it's usually, I'm empowered by mid-morning, late afternoon.
Okay, so then how do you do your work? Are you like an author where you write books and get them out to people, or do you speak in front of groups, or do you do consulting and counseling, or all of the above?
I do not do consulting and counseling. I'm not a doctor or a mental health professional. What I am is a mental health and recovery advocate based on my own story and experiences I've had with other people. So yes, I've written books. I have 3 books. I have spoken at churches, schools, variety of conventions, things like that. I have a seminar that I teach called How to Help Hurting People Without Hurting Yourself, and that has been useful. But I also mostly speak on my story. That's generally what people want to hear is where have you been and how did you get out of that? Major depression is something that is, I believe, the most common mental illness, and people experience it quite often. So sharing my story never fails. Someone or many people are actually responding with, "How did you get in my head?" Because it's something that people
Yeah, that
relate to.
stuff will sneak up on you, the depression, and it's also stress. I used to run expos and I had a mild stroke because of it, because it sneaks up on you. You don't really understand that you might be depressed. And I've got two people that I'd like to introduce you to. Eddie Aguilar is out on the West Coast, and he still does volunteer firefighting and stuff, but he speaks on suicide prevention. And he's had amazingly multiple people that had committed suicide connected with him, and he saved a lot of people by changing their thinking. And then another guy, Jesus, over on the East Coast, his son tried to commit suicide, and he started a thing. The whole family started touring, and I think his thing is called Living So Big, something like that. And they jumped it. They did created wristbands and everything, and they toured around. And the kid just changed his mindset, and life is wonderful now. He was thinking the other way, and now all of a sudden it's changed. So it can be so much as just flipping a switch, all of a sudden going, you know what? Why not live? This is good.
It can be. It was not in my case. It was
Mm-hmm.
a struggle that took on at least over, well, 16 months later, I think, is when I was finally able and mean it to be thankful to the psychologist who saved my life. It took that long. It varies for different people. Major depression is clearly very deep. It's not regular depression, it's major. But when people experience it, their life experiences, the kind of therapy they receive, all kinds of things, even physiology, can determine, recovery, how fast, how permanent, that kind of thing. So we learn to manage our disease, and people don't always learn to manage it, and some learn to manage it very well, et cetera, et cetera.
And just like health and wellness and weight loss and things, it's an ongoing process. You got to stay within the flow, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Like you said, it can sneak up on you. So if you're aware of the clues and the red flags, then you can address them.
Right, right. Well, I got one other question, but I think you've kind of already answered it. But it's my favorite question to ask people when I do these interviews, and that is the big why do you do what you do? Why aren't you an artist? Why aren't you like a baker? Or why aren't you like an Uber driver? But you chose to do what you're doing, and it's kind of obvious why you chose to do it because you're looking to help other people. But if you'd like to express in your words, why are you doing this?
Well, I'll tell you what. I think there are two bottom lines to that question. One is that as a Christian, I feel like I can just offer hope to people that is more permanent and eternal. But at the same time, I have such a joy when people come up to me and say that I made a difference. I remember just so clearly one woman who's about my age who came up to me at a rehab and said that she thought she was too old to try anymore. But since I was doing it, maybe she could too. That kind of thing changes me. I'm glad it changed her, but it changes me. It gives me a whole new encouragement, and it just propels me to want to do this more and more. So that's the why.
That's usually what it is when I ask people the big why question. It's to help other people, which is interesting because I guess that's the essence of why we're on this planet in the first place. Because without
you
other
know,
people,
there's
it's a lonely place, right?
there's no greater joy than helping other people. When we
Hmm.
live for ourselves, we miss out on
Got it.
that.
Well, I don't really have any other questions, but if you have any last words that you want to talk about, any programs you've got coming up, or any books that you've got, or websites that people can get a hold of you, things of that sort, if you want to pull that out. And then I'll also put those links and things on our websites and such.
Okay. Well, I'm having a new experience in a couple of weeks, and that is that I get to go to a support group where volunteers are meeting for the first time to discuss how to run the support group. And I actually get to have input on that. That's new and that's exciting. Teaching volunteers more or less how to relate to people who are mentally ill. But that's a new thing on the horizon. But as far as people reaching me and finding out more about what I do and how to get me to come to their group and to find my books, and by the way, I host a little show called Compassionate Love Radio. You can also find that on my website, which is nancyvirden.com. And Virden is spelled V as in Victor, Irden. So nancyvirden.com, and you'll find everything and more.
Got it. Virden.com. Virden. NancyVirden.com. Got it. I will put that on some of our links. And I appreciate you taking the time, so I'm going to sign this thing off. What I do then is I record it and beam it up to the internet and then the powers that be, and I hashtag certain things and keywords and stuff, and the right people will find it at the right time. And go ahead and remind me, and I'll try and connect you with Eddie and Jesus. Be good, some good networking.
I would love that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nancy. Appreciate your time, and thank you for watching Synergy Cafe. Peace.